If it's Wednesday, we're walking through another journal. Hi, this is Cindy. Welcome to my channel. And I have something completely different for you today. I just played this week because I had heard about these things called Frankenpages. And I loved the idea, and I thought, I have got to try this at some point. So I had finally finished a bunch of my other journals that I was working on, and I said, now I can actually play with Frankenpages. So this is the journal, and even the cover is a Frankenpage. What's a Frankenpage? Well, it's made up of two different pieces, at least a minimum of two. You'll see that some of these have a lot of different pages. This cover was actually one that I was playing around with. I had some extra green paint from a different project, and I tried stenciling with it, but it was too thin and it ran all over the place. It made a mess. And I thought, oh, that's going to be perfect for this journal, for a nice cover. But I'd already used part of it for a journal card. So I thought, well, okay, it still can make a nice cover. I'll just add a piece to it. And I glued it on and washi the seam just to be fancy with it. And there we go. So it says never stop exploring. And then this was a piece that I made a while back. I'm not sure if I did a video on it or not. I'll take a look and see if I can find it on how to make these little cluster type things. They're a completely different kind of cluster than I generally have been making. So I have one of my 5-fold pockets in here, and I have something that I stuck in every one. And these journal cards are made from, let me grab it here, napkin. And all I did was I put the napkin down on wax paper, and then I Mod Podged it. I put the napkin down, I Mod Podged over the top, and what happened, you see how you could see my hand right through it? This was white. This was a white napkin, and all the white kind of went, and the whole thing went translucent, which I think is really cool. I ended up backing it onto a piece of white because I wanted to use it as a journal card in this case. And so there is, this has a lot of pockets. Let me get that in the right pocket. And then I did this one as a pass-through, as a, like a belly band. There's just some little tucks in there, but you can see that the page itself is 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces. I used the same kind of from the same book for the middle page. I started with a solid middle page because I didn't want the seam, I didn't want to have to worry about the seam being where I'm connecting it on the spine. So I thought that that would be a problem. I did a little pad here with some birdies. He's now flying backwards. Yes, I realized I flew him backwards. Well. I've got a big tall journal card in a little book here. So I used some other types of pages. I didn't just use Frankenpages, but here's another Frankenpage. Again, there's the piece. There's another one of those. There's a couple of little things in the tuck. I put a little cluster over here just for decoration. And on this side is a pocket that I made a while back. I was making some pockets. Good things come in small packages. A piece of coffee dyed paper and a piece of, this was just some construction paper I had, and I thought about putting another piece on it, but then I kind of liked how it just, I liked the little piece of it. So there's a little tag in here, and then a cluster on the front of my little envelope. This is a little fold out where you can do a little bit of writing. That was a piece of scrap paper that I had left over from something, and I made a little envelope out of it. I just attached with a little bit of washi tape this piece of note paper, a piece of graph paper. This is a piece of the U.S. Constitution. I had a book, I coffee dyed the whole thing, and I'm going to be sticking a couple pages of the Constitution and everything for a while. Now this was a Frankenpage that I really liked how the colors came together, and I had these butterflies that I had were a digital download, and I had fussy cut them out with the names down below of what's each butterfly is. And I thought, they're the perfect color. They fit this. So I did some stamping, and I added a little bit of, it was just a piece of extra cardstock left over from something. So I threw it on there. On the inside, now this is the inside page, and you can see I stapled it together rather than sew it. I could have sewn it, but I thought this is just kind of a piece. Here's, oh, that's what I did. I had cut that off with the intention of making journal cards and then didn't. So that's why I didn't have it on the front, so I stuck it in here. And I thought it'll be part of my Frankenpage. There's another one of those butterflies. A little bit of netting down here, holding in these, a couple more butterflies. This is a dictionary page. The problem I found with the dictionary page is that it's a little bit thin. So that's one of the reasons I kind of put the stuff there, and I put a little bit more firm one up here. I didn't do anything on this page, partly because I liked what that particular piece said, but it just, it was fun. Coming back out, I left these blank because this really is a journal, so you really should have some places to write, right? Another Frankenpage. This one just has a little tuck in it. And this was a leftover. Oh, I've got a little bit of a piece of something coming off there. You know, it's what you always find when you're doing these things. What did I have coming off there? I don't know. But I'll fix that. Anyway, this is another Frankenpage, and I did it all over stamp on here. Wasn't overly fond of how it came out, so I kind of covered it up. Another coloring page. The other half of the bag with this is just a piece of paper. It's out of a composition notebook, so it's a place to journal. And you can journal on the bag itself if you want. Although it's kind of shiny, so I don't know. You have to use a really good pen. I have a little belly band here with a little tuck in it, and another piece of the Frankenpage. And then the end, and I did some birds. I did a bird and some flowers, and I left that for journaling. So yeah, this is, I think I'll go ahead and have this up for sale. I have a craft fair this coming weekend, so I won't be putting it up just yet, but I will eventually. And it was fun. I will make more of these Frankenpages. They were just fun to do, and I really like how they look. I think what I might do the next time around, I kind of wonder if I want to ink the edges. I think that might be really kind of cool. But once it was stapled together, inking the edges was going to be just a little bit too much. I'm trying to find the center. I've lost the center. There it is. There. Yeah, trying to ink the pages once it's stapled, that's impossible. I mean, it's not impossible. It just doesn't come out very pretty. So I chose not to. But there it is. A Frankenbook. I love it. Frankenstein is one of my favorite all-time books. I taught it for many, many years, and every time I read it, I discovered something new. And isn't that the hallmark of good literature? So, Frankenbooks and Frankenstein. It's a good day. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button and like it if you enjoyed it. And I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm sitting here in my studio. I have a window that looks out over the park across the street, and there is a daycare that has come down to have a picnic in the park. And oh my glory, they are adorable. They are such little kids, and they are just adorable. Sorry, squirrel. Okay, make sure you hit subscribe, and this is Cindy signing off.